Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, the carefully created illusion of modern campaigning. The parties have appropriated the age-old visual language of elections. The stump speech, the whistle-stop tour, the public meeting.
Let's go out and win it for Britain. Thank you very much.
Take this speech in Cornwall. As the Prime Minister leaves, the illusion is punctured. We see that the small crowd has been crammed into one corner of this metal shed. The shed is on the 95 acres of the Royal Cornwall Showground, which is itself surrounded by a barbed wire fence. This is not on anyone's way to anywhere. These days, campaigning is more like the 10th generation of a photocopy. With every election that passes, the authentic image gets fainter. But let's remind ourselves of how things used to be.
Mr. Wilson said 4% for mortgages. No, Mr. Wilson said 4, brother, 4.
This is a real stump speech taken from a remarkable documentary filmed in 1966. The director, Joseph Strick, an American, was so amazed at the combative vibrancy of British democracy, he wanted to preserve a record.
Everybody's got the right in a democratic society like ours to ask a question and get it answered. And everybody will.
The most powerful politicians of the day, including the Prime Minister, were expected to face questioning and often barracking.
Stop trying to destroy our I would appeal to people to give the Prime Minister a hearing and not these exhibitionists who follow him from hall to hall.
I believe that we can say quite honestly to the country, we have done nothing, not only in punishment.
All seem to acknowledge there was a line between participation and disruption.
If they like to heckle decently, well, then let them stay. But if they're going to try to break up the meeting, the stewards will have to act accordingly. And that is quite proper.
Speakers had various methods of dealing with the hecklers.
Now look, I'm telling you and giving you a final warning. Mr. Tomlin, bring the police.
Send for the police quickly.
Be gentle, don't use more force. Sit down, please.
Stop raving,
And if all else failed, well, candidates usually had a couple of heavies on hand. But something else has changed. Politics had the space then to be, shall we say, passionate, because the media landscape was far calmer.
Will you please sit down?
Little of this would have made the news, and if it did, well, voters would probably shrug. But imagine the reaction to this scene today. 50 years ago, there was no such thing as a career-ending viral video. Indeed, this chap went on to be one of our most distinguished Lord Chancellors.